Hello and welcome. Today on BOI Weekly, Federal Government of Nigeria opens Customer Care Command Center to coordinate its social intervention program, Trader Moni, giving a heavy cycle and rate of loan disbursements and repayments happening simultaneously and with no fewer than 4,000 enumerating agents nationwide working tirelessly to capture traders onto the program. The center is set up to monitor the program's operations across the country. Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who personally supervises the initiative being executed by the Bank of Industry, was there to commission the facility. I am Kayode Alayode. Welcome to the program. The Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, JEEP Trader Moni, is the microcredit scheme run as an integral part of the federal government's financial inclusion drive, targeted specifically at market women, artisans and farmers, as well as other Nigerians at the bottom of the pyramid. JEEP Trader Moni is a subset of the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, one of the many social intervention schemes of the current administration. So far, the initiative has touched roughly 1.4 million beneficiaries across the country. But as the disbursements grow, the federal government, in partnership with the Bank of Industry, continues to figure out creative ways to ensure that the scheme remains robust and relevant. That's why it came up with the Trader Moni Command Center, domiciled at the Bank of Industry Tower in Abuja. The Trader Moni Command Center is the back-end infrastructure and brain box of the entire program. It serves as a hub to monitor data analytics, social media engagement, disbursement and repayments, call center, and the coordination hub for over 4,000 enumerators spread across the country, daily enlisting beneficiaries onto the program. Today is a special day as the Trader Moni Command Center is being commissioned. The executive hierarchy of the Bank of Industry is here, ensuring that everything goes smoothly as they await the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who is to commission the center. Soon the Vice President arrives and the program gets underway. The Chairman, Board of Directors, Bank of Industry, Mr. Abdul Rahman Diko, welcomes the Vice President.
In the last 1 year, we have increased disbursement to micro, small and medium enterprises by about 42%. We have also trained artisans in gemstone cleaning, about 1,600 artisans, just to be able to also contribute to the diversification of the economy, and this we will continue to do. Let me finally, Your Excellency, assure you that the board and management will continue to pursue policies that will give credit to micro and small enterprises where we see employment generating capacity. So with these few remarks, Your Excellency, we welcome you to the Bank of Industry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The MD CEO, Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukayode, takes the opportunity to brief the Vice President on some of the bank's most recent achievements.
And we're happy with what has happened in the last few years. With the support of the government, been able to raise money. For the very first time, the DFI was able to raise $750 million because of the support that we've gotten from government. This year, at the end of the year, we'll have disbursed close to 200 billion naira to various businesses, both micro, small, medium enterprises, and the large. Been able to put a lot of Nigerians back at work. We can't say thank you enough. So once again, you're welcome to Bank of Industry. Thank you, Your Excellency.
The Trader Moni Command Center itself is the Vice President's idea, which is now being executed. Next, the Executive Director, Micro Enterprises at the Bank of Industry, Mrs. Toyin Adeniji, under whose directorate the Trader Money initiative is being run, shows the VP how the command center is structured, as she and the Chief Operating Officer for JEEP, Mr. Uzoma Nwagba, lead the Vice President and the entourage through the operational process.
When the program started, His Excellency made it very clear that he wanted this whole process to be driven by data and with a lot of integrity. So what we did was we created a very strong engine room to support the program, because you will agree that in trying to reach 2 million people in a short period of time at the bottom of the pyramid, it has to be supported with technology, and it's not something that can be manually driven. So we got to work, and because we had our umbrella, the Government Enterprise and Empowerment Program, which is one of the programs under the social intervention programs, we're able to quickly roll it out. And so what this experience center is where we get a feel of the program. If you take time to look at the walls, every single box on the walls behind us is a testimony. It's a real-life testimony from the field, and it's all across Nigeria. If you look at this wall right here, it's the value chain. It shows the step-by-step process. How does the petty trader get their 10,000 naira? So it starts with enumeration, and the process takes you where the enumerators go on the field. They register at the point of trade, and they take pictures. We're actually the first program in Nigeria to use visual recognition to identify unique, because if we take a picture of you, nobody else can have those parameters. We're going to go to iris recognition, but we don't have the time and we don't have the funds. But we do take people at their point of trade, and they get into our system. No one person, for Trader Money, no one person using the same, we do checks to make sure that no one person gets recorded twice.
What happens is that the agents go to the markets that we have been to, and everybody who has received a text message from the program, the agent's job is to cash them out. So they receive a message that says you have money on your mobile wallet. That mobile wallet is like a bank account, essentially. The job of the agent is to then convert that money into cash, so that they don't have to walk to any bank to do their repayments. We have about 4,000 agents across the country today. Each of those agents each agent runs a small business on their own. They're essentially a cash management entity. So each agent has to have a little bit of working capital, and they're going into the market. So Folake, for example, has 40,000 naira in her hands. And so when she goes to meet a trader, the trader literally sends that money into Folake's own mobile wallet, and Folake hands her 10,000 naira. But then what happens is that the agent gets a compensation for each successful cash out that they do. So if an agent gets, say, 100 naira per cash out, that means that if they do 100 cash outs, they will get paid 10,000 naira. And that's how they are able to run an enterprise that keeps them going.
What we experience there is what happens on the field. We have petty traders who have gotten loans. But the question is, how do we track these people? How do we understand it? How do we monitor what's going on? How do we also monitor public sentiment about the program? How do we answer questions that are asked? How do we deal with the back end post-disbursement? So what you're seeing here is essentially a subset of some of our dashboards. And I will start with the engine room in terms of the counts. So we have this tracked aggressively, where we know how many people have been enumerated, how many disbursements. So these disbursements applied and disbursed, these are updated after verifications. So some of these numbers you see, we have a small backlog that's not been verified. So verified, and then we track it accordingly. And then the amount that's disbursed, we can also track real time by value chain, how many people have been disbursed, what value chain they are into, what kind of trade they are involved in. And then you can see individual candidates, just looking one by one, you can see every individual candidate. So today you can see the enumeration in Lagos, how many have applied, how many have disbursed to, and how much has been disbursed. Then you can also see the breakdown by local governments. Top 10 local governments, the first Talimosho, then Mushin, then Oshodi. If you hover over this one, you just hover over the graphs, you can see the actual counts. You can also scroll through to see the clusters. We'll replace the screenshot here. You can see the top 10 clusters. There is Wood, the Kotu market, Mushin markets, Ojuoye markets. There's Oshodi Arena. Please over this. Over this one. Abulega markets and so on. Yes, sir. Now, next thing is the social media component. So we always want to do sentiment analysis. What are people saying about the program? This is real time, it's unfiltered. As they're speaking to you, this is conversation that is going on about trader money. Sometimes you see criticism pop up, sometimes you see, and if there's a question, we have a social media team here. The job of the social media team here and behind is to answer questions. We have a scripted set of FAQs, so it's not going to be random or off the cuff. We have a very regimented way we answer questions about the program. So they take a question and they answer it. Because we have a lot of data and we have a lot of analytics, we staff our contact center based on the volumes of calls and the languages that people prefer. So at a certain point, about 60% of our calls were people speaking Hausa. So 60% of our contact center was staffed in Hausa. It kind of mirrors the movement of the program based on how we moved across the years. Now it's mostly stabilized. So we have each of these agents who is proficient in one of four languages: Hausa, Igbo, Pidgin, and Yoruba. And they are quick to make sure that we answer questions. We get a volume of calls close to 1,000 to 1,200 every single day.
Since it's a national program, the call center responds to queries in the major languages spoken across the country, namely English, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and the Pidgin English, a corrupt version of the English language. As the Vice President continues his tour and assessment of the facility, the team makes a special request. They would like him to take a call on their behalf.
And as we speak right now, they are responding to live calls.
Using InterSwitch.
They're answering live calls, as they come. And Your Excellency, sir, we don't know if you might oblige us to take one of the calls. Maybe you can. So maybe the next call that comes, I think we already reserved it.
Surprisingly, the Vice President obliges and takes the next call. Here's how it went.
Hello? Hello? Peter, how are you?
Okay, sir, I'm very sorry.
Yes, this is the Vice President. Thank you very much. So I'm here today at the... okay. Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, when did you register?
I registered like 2 months now. I registered with this number 090.
No, just a moment. Well, I'm going to take the number. Okay. Just give me the number again. 090. Yes. 90. 16. 1408. Let me call that back to you, so I'll be sure that we have the right number. 090 90161408. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's correct. Okay, what's your name? Are you Peter Kefas?
Yes.
You are Peter Kefas. Aha, so it shows that we have your name.
Okay, I spent 2 months. I never see money, and some of you registered.
Okay, they said you registered only on the 5th of December. What I have here is that you registered on the 5th of December, December 5.
Key for disbursement.
Hello, Peter. Okay, because what I have here is that you registered on the 5th of December, that's December 5. So you are waiting for disbursement. Your money will be disbursed. It will be disbursed to you. You know, so don't worry. You'll get your disbursement. But I have you here. I have your name here, and the disbursement will come. Sorry, I didn't hear you. Yes. We are going to disburse it to you, definitely. So don't worry.
I would tell my people, say I follow Vice President.
Yes. Mr. I go tell my people, say I follow Peter talk today.
Done with the tour and commissioning of the Jeep Trader Money Command Center in Abuja, the Chief Operating Officer of the program, Mr. Uzoma Nwagba, speaks further on the Trader Money Command Center.
This command center is our way of monitoring activity of the program across the country. Today we have 4,000 agents who wake up every morning going to the markets, capturing petty traders on their tablets, getting their information, learning about their trade, introducing the loan scheme to them. If they want the loan, they accept the loan and they accept the terms. All of that information is captured live on the markets, in the market rather, and even their GPS location and pictures of them and their trade. All of that data feeds into this data warehouse, and from here we have a team of people who monitor all that activity and verify the registrations, that they are petty traders, that they are Nigerians, which is not difficult to verify, their phone numbers. Sometimes we call them, we ask them where they are, what market they are in, do they want the loan, we explain the process to them, and if they accept, then we do a disbursement to them, so they get a disbursement on their mobile wallets. That is for Trader Money. And then we already have agents in the field who will do the cash out for them, so they will take that mobile wallet disbursement and they convert it to cash. And that is the way that the program runs across the country to give currently 1.5 million loans across all 36 states and the FCT.
The Executive Director, Micro Enterprises, Mrs. Tonya Adeniji, who is running the Jeep program at the Bank of Industry, talks about the edge that BOI has brought to the social intervention scheme.
The trader money is paid through mobile wallets to the petty traders, and what that means is that we have more than 4,000 agents working with us. They go into the field, they do the enumeration. After the enumeration, which they do at the point of trade, it goes into our system, and what the system does is the whitelisting, and so basically it cleans out the data so that only those that are credible, those that actually qualify for trader money, will now remain on the whitelist, and it is this whitelist that feeds into the mobile wallet. Now, when they get credit or value on the mobile wallet, that's like carrying cash. It's as good as cash, but then it has to translate to cash. And at that point, we now have agents that help them turn that value on their phones into cash. So there's a lot of work behind the scene that goes into the making of the program.
Well, it is their money indirectly.
The MD CEO Bank of Industry, Mr. Olukaide Piton, clears the air on the different shades of misconceptions on whether the scheme is a loan or a grant, and whether or not the bank is able to recover the funds.
The scheme is a scheme of federal government of Nigeria, but it is not a dash. The idea is that the government wants to help people who have been having problems raising small capital to do a lot of small businesses. So the idea is that it is not your part of national cake. It is not money that you get and you don't pay back. And there are incentives, of paying back this money. When you pay it back, we increase the amount of money that you can borrow. From 10,000, you can, if you perform, get up to 100,000 naira. And then, you can enlarge and expand your business. When you pay back, the other Nigerians have the opportunity also to benefit from it. So it's our money, but it's not your part of national cake. It's a loan that must be paid back. If you don't pay back, there are things that can happen. For instance, for 10,000 naira, what we had found out, let's look at it in a bit of more positive light. You'll be surprised that most people at that level that you think will take the money and run are actually better payers of loans than the big men and women. On the average, most of these loans go to women that sell things. We bankers have found out over time that these women are better borrowers. So we expect most of these monies to come back. We've done over 10 billion naira because we have If you look at it, that we've done about 1.4 million Nigerians. If you calculate about 10,000 naira, so you're getting close to about 15 billion naira that we have disbursed.
The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, shares his experience on the exercise and why the federal government feels compelled to do this.
So we intend to ensure that as many petty traders as possible get into this program. It's a very important program for us, and the simple reason is that petty traders are the largest number of people in our commercial value chain in Nigeria. They're the largest number, and we want to be able to touch them. Nobody really wants to give petty traders loans. I mean, banks don't want to do so. But with the very innovative program developed by the BOI, by the Bank of Industry, in association with the Social Investment Program of the federal government, we now have an opportunity, a real opportunity, to reach out to a large number, millions literally, of petty traders in a systematic way, in a credible way, in a monitorable way, a way by which we can monitor and evaluate what's going on, and then they repay. Well, I'm very happy about the program, very happy about the program, for the fact that it really does, it in a sense is what the president would want to do, most himself. I mean, he was chairman of something called the Katsina Foundation. Katsina Foundation was doing this exact thing, giving very small traders, people making akara, people making, small things, inventories of 2,000, giving them loans from a foundation. So for him, this was a very important thing, and he felt that this could be replicated on a national scale. He found that people paid back and got more money than them. This certainly is the largest program of its kind in Africa. I don't know that there is any larger anywhere in the world. Maybe India might have something close to this, but certainly this is the largest in Africa.
The federal government has vowed no Nigerian would be left in the cold, and it's ensuring this through its social investment programs and financial inclusion drives. That's why it continues to redesign, refine, and realign its processes through the Bank of Industry, as you have seen with the Trader Money Command Center on the program today. You can also benefit from these programs. For a start, visit any of the Bank of Industry's branches closest to you, or log on to their website at boi.ng. You can also apply for loans online. Simply download the BOI SME Loan app from the Google Play Store and follow the instructions. Now, feel free to tweet at me at KAY Alayande. Previous editions of the show are all available on youtube.com. Just type BOI Weekly in the search area, and there you go. That will be a wrap on the show for today. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayode Alayande. Bye now.